Hare Krishna devotees, please have my humble obeisances. Mataji has given the activity for 10 minutes. I have already shared your OBA questions. Uh, in totality, there are 4 questions for Unit 3 of Bhagavad Gita for OBA for open book assessment. So we need to do question number 1. In totality, we need to do 2 questions. You will get soon which are the 2 questions. But the first question, the one of the question is the question number 1. So for next 10 minutes, we can all discuss question number 1. Then Mataji will join, and if we have any doubt or our input, we can give. So I have already shared that in the group. I can say the question here as well. The first question is with reference to Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, verses and purports, discuss in your own words. The first part of the question is ways you are personally influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. And the second is practical ways you can develop the mode of goodness. So we can. Karunamai Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Mataji, can you please make 2 groups only of the devotees?
Yeah,
Just
sure, Mataji.
so they can
Uh,
join and start discussing. Just 2 groups.
okay,
Hare
in time,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji,
Yes.
this is with respect to we have to do this question only for our open book.
No, we have to do 2 questions, Mataji. One question is this. Another question I have already forwarded to Himani Mataji. So she will give because she has to give you the link as well or everything. So I have already forwarded her. So she will give you. But one of the question Mataji has given right now, the activity to do is the question number 1. In totality, you have to do 2 questions for OB.
Only
Right?
these 2 questions.
Yes, only these 2 questions. The another question is, I'm having that question. I already forwarded to Himani Machi. I can speak here. Explain any 3 of the 6 divisions of surrender with reference to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verses 65 and 66. Please quote statement from Prabhupada, Sanskrit phrases and quotes from Srila Prabhupada lectures to support your explanation. Please give a practical program to practice the division of surrender in your own words. So this is the second question, Mataji. So right now we just need to discuss. Mataji will join at 7:15 p.m. Indian Standard Time.
Hare Krishna.
So just next for 10 minutes, we will please do first question. We will discuss that.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी एंड प्रभु प्लीज आप अपना रूम चूज कर लीजिए हरे कृष्णा
Hare, Hare Krishna, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is my voice audible?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranam, yes, Mataji, you are audible.
Yes.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mother. Please accept our humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's move. Text number 55 that is supposed to continue. I'll just chant the invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So is Vishaka here? She's supposed to continue this verse which I have underlined. So since she's not there, so Jyoti, can you continue?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Visate means that one can enter into the abode of the Supreme Lord in one's individuality to engage in his association and render service unto him. For instance, a green bird enters a green tree not to become one with the tree but to enjoy the fruits of the tree. Impersonalists generally give the example of a river flowing into the ocean and merging. This may be a source of happiness for the impersonalist, but the personalist keeps his personal individuality like an aquatic in the ocean. We find so many living entities within the ocean if we go deep. Surface acquaintance with the ocean is not sufficient. One must have complete knowledge of the aquatics living in the ocean depths.
So this Prabhupada actually defeats the Mayavada philosophy with this word, Vishate. It explains the real meaning. What does it mean by Vishate? Because the translation says that one enters into the spiritual kingdom, right? That's what the translation says. That he can enter into the kingdom of God. That's what Vishate. And what is the Mayavada understanding? What is the Vaishnava understanding? Prabhupada explains. And it's also one of your analogy question, I think, in your analogy part. Yeah, please continue, Jyoti. After liberation also devotional service continues. That is what Prabhupada is going to explain. It's not that we do our devotional service as long as we are here in this material world in a conditioned state, but even in liberated state also, we continue our devotional service in the spiritual world. Please continue.
After liberation, the process of bhakti or transcendental service continues. The Vedanta Sutra 4.1.12 confirms this. Aprayana tatrapi hi drishtam. This means that after liberation, the process of devotional service continues. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, real devotional liberation is defined as the reinstatement of the living entity in his own entity identity, his own constitutional position.
So what is the definition given for liberation in Srimad Bhagavatam? Liberation means going back to our original constitutional position. The verse says, Anyatha Rupam, Mukti Hitva Anyatha Rupam. Anyatha Rupam means our Rupa is Satchidananda Vigraha. We have several times we've discussed regarding this. Now we are in Anyatha Rupam. But when we go back to our real Swarupa, which is our original constitutional position, that is what Bhagavatam is explaining as liberation. Mukti Hitva Anyatha Rupam Swarupena Vyavastiti. We go back to our original constitutional position. So our devotional service continues even after liberation. Means in our original constitutional position, we will be continuing our devotional service. Yes, please continue.
After liberation, this service is never stopped. Actual liberation is getting free from misconceptions of life.
Very good. Okay, thank you. So text number 56. Sarvakarmanyapi sada purvano madhyapashrayah matprasadatavapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Please read the translation.
Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace.
Straightforward. So engaging in all kinds of activities, performing devotional service, he is under the Lord's protection. He reaches the eternal abode. Please continue in the purport.
There is no time limitation for a pure devotee. He is always 24 hours a day, 100% engaged in activities under the direction of the Supreme Lord. To a devotee who is thus engaged in Krishna consciousness, the Lord is very, very kind. In spite of all difficulties, he is eventually placed in the transcendental abode or Krishna Loka. He is guaranteed entrance there. There is no doubt about it.
Text number 57. Chetasa sarva karmani mayi sanyasya matparah buddhi yogam upashritya machitta satatam bhava.
Translation. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my
Direction.
direction.
Protection.
Under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Purport. When one acts in Krishna consciousness, he does not act as a master of the world. Just like a servant, one should act fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. A servant has no individual independence. He acts only on the order of the master. A servant acting on behalf of the Supreme Master is unaffected by profit and loss. He simply discharges his duty faithfully in terms of the order of the Lord. Now, one may argue that Arjuna was acting under the personal direction of Krishna. But when Krishna is not present, how should one act? If one acts according to the direction of Krishna in this book, as well as under the guidance of the representative of Krishna, then the result will be same. The Sanskrit word mat paraha is very important in this verse. It indicates that one has no goal in life. One goal in life says, and except acting in Krishna consciousness.
One has no goal in life, save and except acting in Krishna consciousness.
And while working in that way, one should think of Krishna only. I have
Continue. I have been appointed.
Mataji, please.
Mother, please, excellent.
Yes, sorry. I'm looking at a different screen. Sorry. Yes. I have been appointed
to the discharge this particular duty by Krishna. While acting in such a way, one naturally has to think of Krishna. This is perfect Krishna consciousness. One should, however, note that after doing something whimsically, we should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. That sort of duty is not in the devotional service of Krishna consciousness. One should act according to the order of Krishna. This is a very important point. Therefore, the spiritual master's order should be taken as the prime duty of life. If one gets a bona fide spiritual master and acts according to his direction, then one's perfection of life in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed.
Thank you. So here a very important point in this verse is Krishna is saying, as Paramatma, all activity, in all his activities, Arjuna has to depend on the Lord. Upon me here refers to the Lord in the heart. Upon me. Just depend on him as Paramatma. Work always under his protection. Then in such devotional service, because whatever a devotee does, all his activities, because he is doing it to please the Supreme Lord, it is considered devotional service, and he should be fully conscious of the Supreme Lord, for whom he is doing all such activities. So that is why Prabhupada is actually speaking about the Paramatma in the heart, that servant does not have any independence. He should act according to the master. So how we will know this? We will know the Lord's words through the guidance of the representative of Krishna. That is why in the end, if we see, Prabhupada speaks about the order of Krishna comes through disciplic succession from the bona fide spiritual master. The external manifestation of the Lord in the heart is the spiritual master. So should be taken as the prime duty of life. So one more point here, Prabhupada mentions in the purport that we should not do something whimsical and should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. Whatever we do, it should be in line with Guru Shadhu and Shastra. We cannot do whimsical and call it as devotional service. It's just so-called devotional service for me. It's not a devotional service according to the famous verse, Shruti, Smriti and Puranas. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatri Vidimbi. So it should be in line with these scriptures. So 57, what Krishna is saying, in all activities, just depend on me. As the Lord in the heart, he is directly taking control of a pure devotee. 57. 58. So, if you work according to my direction, you'll overcome all obstacles. However, if you act on your own, then you will be lost. That is what Krishna is going to explain in the next verse. 57, always be consciousness of me. You can act under my protection. You will be always be protected by me. The Lord as Paramatma is speaking. So 58, if you don't, you will be lost. So let us read 58. Machitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankara nashroshyasi vinakshyasi. Yeah. Text 58, please continue.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
So if your consciousness of my direction, you will cross over all the obstacles. The three modes of material nature will no longer act on you. But if you work, means if you work through false ego, means considering himself as a body, as a Kshatriya, that he doesn't want to kill his grandfather, teacher, or his relatives, all these things. Without hearing Krishna, you will be lost. Means the modes will overtake Arjuna. Take over Arjuna. So that's what Krishna is warning. Please continue the highlighted part in the part.
Madhu, could you please move the screen?
Sorry, actually, I'm seeing 2-3 screens I have, so I'm finding it difficult.
No problem.
Yes, Prabhu. Just a minute. I'll close this because it's confusing. Yes, Prabhuji.
For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna becomes the most intimate friend. He always looks after his friend's comfort and he gives himself to his friend, who is so devotedly engaged working 24 hours a day to please the Lord. Therefore, no one should be carried away by the false ego of the bodily concept of life. No conditioned soul actually knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. But a person who acts in Krishna consciousness is free to act because everything is prompted by Krishna from within and confirmed by the spiritual master.
Oh, just a minute. I have moved far. Yeah, very far. Yes, Prabhu. So again, the law Prabhupada is saying that we have to act according to the direction of the Lord in the heart. So, and of course, whatever some generally people ask this question, if it comes, how to understand? As a question to you, how to understand whether it is coming from my mind or it is coming from the Lord in the heart? Anyway, the answer is given in the purport itself, but still you can say. How to understand whether the thoughts are coming from my mind or it is actually given by the Lord in the heart? Yes, Pandit Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. So, Mataji, if it's been approved by the spiritual master, Guru Sadhu Shastra, then it is okay to execute. Otherwise, it's a mental speculation.
It's a mental speculation. Yes, Prabhupada clarifies here. Whatever thoughts arises, it should be confirmed by the spiritual master. Whatever is, of course, Guru Sadhu and Shastra, whatever is prompted by Krishna from within. Otherwise, whatever comes from the mind, it is mostly towards, most of the time, for sense gratification. If it is coming from the Supreme Lord, yeah, it is confirmed by Guru Sadhu and Shastra. Otherwise, it's just mental speculation coming from mind. As we understand, if you're not the body, you're not the mind. So again, one more warning from the Lord as Paramatma. Yet ahankaram ashritya nayotsya iti manyase nityaisha vyavasayaste prakriti swam niyokshyati. Go ahead.
If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
So as the Lord in the heart, he gave him the direction and told him to fight. But if he denies to fight, obviously, since Arjuna is a Kshatriya, his original nature, the Rajasic Guna will come out, and anyway he will be engaged in warfare. It will become sinful. Because according to the Lord's direction, if he does something, we discussed many times in the previous chapter that he will not accumulate any sinful reactions for the work because he has done to please the Supreme Lord. But if he denies that and work according to its own nature, he had without this thing, he has to engage in warfare because his original nature will come out. That is what Krishna is warning here. Yeah, please continue. Rukmini had a say.
He forgot that Arjuna forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. That is the forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality gives direction as to what is good and what is bad, and one simply has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master, who is the representative of God.
Very, very important. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many, it's also the, of course, it's one of the offense to disobey the order of the spiritual master and to consider him an ordinary person. So here we say, like, how important is the words of the spiritual master? It's the order of the spiritual master. So many times if we see, the spiritual master gives generic instruction to all the disciples. Generic instruction is like following 4 regulative principles: chant minimum 16 rounds, read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, read Prabhupada books, here do some service in the temple. Generic instructions. So of course, when they see the ability and the capability of the disciple, then specific instructions will be given to the disciple. But anyway, whether specific instruction or generic instruction, no one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or our bona fide spiritual master. A very important instruction. This is considered as a general principle which one should follow. It's directly coming from Prabhupada. Yes, Pandit Prabhuji.
Mataji, I have a question. So
Yes.
it has been explicitly mentioned, and we have heard many of the times that we should not neglect the orders. But what happened to those disciples who neglect the order of their spiritual master? How can we categorize them? And what happened to
It's an
those? What will be
offense.
the fate or destiny?
Of course, whatever devotional service they have done, Krishna said, Neha Vikrama Nashosti Pratyavayona Vidyate, right? Solpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. The progress will be slow. Depends on what kind of offenses. See, generally, the spiritual master is pure devotee who is considered to be very merciful. The destiny of a person is like progress will be slow. And okay, maybe if the spiritual master is like merciful, they want to deliver. Somehow he can come back with full determination. That also is possible. But the progress will be slow in that case because it's an offense, right? Sometimes he may, at particular point of life, one may actually leave Krishna conscious in the particular life. Again, as Krishna says that whatever devotional service we do will continue. So one may continue, we don't know which life. So that's why I said the progress will be slow in that situation. Yes, so we
Okay,
got the
Mataji.
answer.
Yes, Mataji.
So text number 60. So same warning continues. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibadha svena karmana kartum nechasi yenmohat karishyasi avashopita.
Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
So this we discussed earlier. Under illusion means under illusion, Arjuna thinks, if he thinks that he is the body, he is the Kshatriya, all or his relatives belongs to him. So this is kind of illusion. If he declines to act, to fight, obviously his original nature, Kshatriya nature, will come out. That is why Krishna says you will act all the same. See, now you are saying you will not fight, but then you are not free from the three modes of material nature. So your original nature will come out. Anyway, you will fight. So that is what is warning. Can you read the purport, Prabhu? Very important.
Yes, Mataji. If one refuses to act under the direction of Supreme Lord, then he is compelled to act by the modes in which he is situated. Everyone is under the spell of a particular combination of the modes of nature and is acting in that way. But anyone who voluntarily engages himself under the direction of Supreme Lord becomes glorious.
Okay. So voluntarily, we should actually engage directly. See, that is very important. Directly, we should surrender to the Lord in the heart. Directly surrendering means taking up the path of pure devotional service. So because in both ways, Paramatma is directing all the living entities. One way is through the pushings of the three modes of material nature, Paramatma is guiding the living entity to act. That is those who have not taken up devotional service. Those who have taken up devotional service, the Lord actually directly guides them. So instead of going through this indirect way is the Lord actually guides the living entity according to the pushings of the three modes of material nature. That's how we start working. Otherwise, we don't have the capacity to work on our own. That is what we discussed in 15.15. This verse, Sarvasya Chaham Pradisarni Vishnu. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So unless this is given by the Lord, one cannot even act. So, but in the case of a devotee who has surrendered to the Supreme Lord, one should directly take guidance from the Lord in the heart. So that is what the next verse says. So there is indirectly, the Lord in the heart is guiding through the modes of the material nature. One is direct guidance in case of a person who has taken up the path of pure devotional service. 61. That is why he's speaking the next verse regarding the Lord in the heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam pradeshe arjuna tishtati Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. Please read.
Translation. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy.
So made of material energy, the body is made up of 24 elements. Paramatma is speaking about the indirectly through the three modes of material nature. He's directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as a machine. This body is considered to be this yantra, is the machine. Yantra rudhani mayaya. It's made up of material energy, which is 24 elements. Yeah, please continue, Vishaka. Or Harshika, right?
After changing bodies, yes, Harshika. After changing bodies, the living entity forgets his past deeds. But the super soul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, remains the witness of all his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by this super soul.
So this is the indirect. This is indirectly directing the living entities through the modes of the material nature. Yeah, continue.
As soon as the living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. A person seated in a high-speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car, though the living entities, the drivers, may be the same. Similarly, by the order of the Supreme Soul, material nature fashions a particular type of body to a particular type of living entity, so that he may work according to his past desires. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's
control.
Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that is why Krishna is saying, you better surrender unto that Lord in the heart. Instead of, so anyway, in general, the Lord is actually directing the living entity through this indirect way, that is through the pushings of the three modes of material nature. Better serve him directly, surrender unto him directly. Text number 62. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyashi shashvatam. Please continue.
Translation. O Shan of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you
Will attain
transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Purport. By such surrender, not only will one be released from all miseries in this life, but at the end, he will reach the Supreme God. So, this recommendation that one should surrender unto the super soul situated
within means
that one should surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Krishna has already been accepted by the Arjuna as the Supreme.
So Prabhupada makes it clear, surrender unto the Supreme Lord means surrender to the super soul means surrender to the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada always brings the Bhagavan, the ultimate, that we should surrender unto the Supreme Lord. 63. So if we surrender unto the Supreme Lord, we will attain transit. That's the result of surrendering. Transcendental base, supreme and eternal abode. We will go to the supreme and eternal abode. So now we will speak about the most confidential knowledge. Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrishyaitat asheshena yatechasi tatha kuro.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
Yeah, very important. See, as Paramatma, he doesn't interfere in what we have to do. He just says, he said that you better surrender unto me, work according to my direction. But he did not force. As Paramatma, he did not force. That is why he's saying, as I have explained to you, still more confidential. You deliberate on this, whatever you wish to do, you do it. So as Paramatma, he's like playing a neutral. He doesn't like no forces to do. So as Paramatma, he is speaking this. Please continue. The highlighted part in the
One who is in the Brahma Bhuta condition is joyful. He never laments nor does he desire anything. That is due to confidential knowledge. Krishna also discloses knowledge of the Super Soul. This is also Brahman knowledge. Knowledge of Brahman, but it is superior. Here the word yachesi
Yatechasi tatha kuru.
As you like, you may act. Indicate that God does not interfere with the little independence
Of the living entity.
of the living entity. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the best interest of the living entities. It is not for the interest of the Supreme. Before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on this subject as far as the intelligence goes. That is the best way to accept the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such instruction comes also through the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna.
As we discussed, the Lord does not interfere with the little. As Paramatma, he doesn't interfere with the independence of the living. He doesn't demand. But as Bhagavan, he demands us. He demands that surrender. Prabhupada clarifies. So as Paramatma, he doesn't interfere with the little independence. But as Bhagavan, he demands us to surrender. Now the most confidential knowledge is coming. सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Translation: Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you, my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
So now this verse, as Bhagavan, he is speaking. The previous verse, as Paramatma, he said that whatever I have to say, I've said it. Whatever you like to do, you do it. It's up to you. Something like those lines. So as 64, he says that you are my very dear friend. As Bhagavan, he says that Arjuna, you are my dear friend. That's why I'm speaking to you the supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge. Sarva guhyatamam bhuyaha. Hear this for your benefit. Yes, please continue, Krishna Priya.
The Lord has given Arjuna knowledge that is confidential, knowledge of the Brahman, and still more confidential, knowledge of the super soul within everyone's heart. And now he is giving the most confidential part of the knowledge. Just surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the most important instruction in all Vedic literature. What Krishna is saying in this connection is the most essential part of knowledge, and it should be carried out not only by Arjuna but all living entities.
So here we can see Prabhupada's mission. So there are the confidential knowledge in 3 levels. Confidential, again Brahman realization. We discussed Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, how to achieve the yesterday's discussion. That is confidential. Regarding Paramatma relation, it is more confidential. Bhagavan relation is most confidential. So Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatama. Guhya is confidential. Guhyatara, more confidential. Guhyatama is the most confidential. So what is that most confidential? Surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what Prabhupada is saying, that it should be carried out not only by Arjuna, but by all living entities. This is what is Prabhupada's mission, that he wants all the living entities in the material world to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. 65 comes the most confidential knowledge. We have two verses. This we already discussed in chapter 9. Again, second time, the Lord is repeating. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam yai vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
So this is what we're supposed to do. Four things. Always think of the Supreme Lord, the function of the mind. That's why many times we discuss Krishna consciousness means training the mind. Worship him and offer obeisances unto him. Yeah. Please continue, Prabhu.
The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish
Boy.
boy with a beautiful face and a peacock feathers in his hairs. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the very dear friend of Krishna's.
Since this is the most confidential knowledge, Prabhupada is very clear because earlier in chapter 8, if you see that Prabhupada writes, one can concentrate his mind on any forms of the Supreme Lord. He writes to that line. But here specifically he says that one should fix his mind on the original form of Godhead, the form of Shama Sundara, the beautiful face and peacock feather in his hair. Peacock feather in his hair. So text number 66. Of course, the previous highlight we discussed how we should actually mold our life so that we will come to this, we will be able to do these four things. We should mold our life in such a way. So that is what our thought process should be. How can I mold my life in such a way that I will be able to do these four things in my life? That's what Prabhupada writes. So the final surrender. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Please read.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Okay, so rest all like straightforward purport. The main thing what we are going to say is from Haribhakti Vilasa, Prabhupada quotes this famous verse regarding the 6 type of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshashyatiti vishwasho goptritve varanam tatha atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharana gatihi. Anukulyasya sankalpa, what does that mean? Whatever is favorable for my Krishna consciousness, I accept it. Pratikulyasya varjanam, whatever is unfavorable for my practice of pure devotional service, I reject it. So that's the first two lines. Then the third line is Rakshashyati iti vishwasho, which means having faith that Krishna is the protector. Having faith in that Krishna is the protector. Rakshashyati iti vishwasho. Goptritve varanam. Tatha means and. Goptritve varanam means accepting Krishna as the maintainer. He is the maintainer of accepting Krishna as the maintainer. Atma nikshepa means giving up myself completely to Krishna. Giving up myself completely to Krishna. And that leads to arpanye, which means humble, humility. Being humble means accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, giving up the enjoying mentality and lording over mentality, controlling mentality. That is what accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the surrender. But since Krishna speaks about the complete surrender, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto him. So what are the 6 types of surrender which is quoted by in Hari Bhakti Vilasa? So since it's one of your essay question, which I have sent it to Rukmini Hari Sevini. So according to this, we have to practice pure devotional service. So because why this verse Prabhupada quotes? Because surrender, we have to surrender to get competent authority. We should not surrender unto incompetent authority. So that's why it's very important that we surrender unto a competent authority. So that is incompetent authority and competent authority. So what is, of course, Krishna is the highest authority, is competent. So we surrender unto him. So if we remember chapter 2, Krishna speaks a verse on one-pointed intelligence. Does someone remember the verse? One-pointed intelligence. Which number? At least number, shloka number. One-pointed intelligence in chapter 2. Does someone remember the verse? What verse it is? Okay. So since I is silent. 2.41. Yes. Rukmini Hari Sevini, you are about to say. What is that verse? Yes. Raise your hand.
It's like Varna.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर्एकेयः गुरुनन्दन बहुशाखायनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So, one-pointed intelligence. The journey of Bhagavad Gita is how to come to this one-pointed intelligence. When we have that one-pointed intelligence, then we will be able to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because our focus is one-pointed. Only we are worried about performing pure devotional service. We don't have any other distractions like attaining name, fame, whatever. It is not many branched. It is one-pointed attention. That's what Krishna says there. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Those who are one point, having this it is resolute in purpose. That is what he says. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Many branched, avyavasayana. They cannot have that resolute intelligence to perform pure devotional service. So that is the journey of Bhagavad Gita, how to get that one-pointed or one-pointed intelligence. So yes, with that one-pointed intelligence, we will be able to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the competent authority, and this is what we have to, how to do it. Whatever is favorable in our practical life, we accept it. Whatever is unfavorable, we reject it. As we discussed, accepting Krishna as the maintainer, having faith, Krishna is the protector, and giving up myself to the Supreme Lord and being humble. So this is the 6 ways. Otherwise, it's a straightforward purport. That's why I did not highlight. Yeah, please continue.
The particular words here used here, ma shuchaha, do not fear, do not hesitate, do not worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender to Krishna, but such worry is useless.
So Prabhupada, Mahabhagavata has said that such worry is useless. We need not worry. So when you come to South India, if you are fortunate, sometimes visit South India, where a humongous deity of the Lord, as the Lord is actually standing, and in his hand, it is written in Tamil language, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. And the pujari, when he does the arati, he will show to every devotee who is come and want to take darshan of the lordships. In his hand, it will be written Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Some interesting pastime. The pastime goes in the temple like this. The Lord actually came in the form of very old man, and he asked Markandeya Rishi, in that particular pastime, Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi, comes as the daughter of Markandeya Rishi. And the Lord, who came in the form of a very old man, come and ask for the hand of Bhumi Devi, and he asked this father, Markandeya Rishi. And Markandeya Rishi said that my daughter is very young. She doesn't even know how to put salt and cook. The Lord said, whatever she cooks, I accept it, even without salt. So until today, in that temple, all the salty preparations, they offer bhoga to the Lord, but without salt, as the Lord has promised to Markandeya Rishi. So we will see the humongous deity of the Lord, in his hand Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, and below the Lord, on one side, Bhumi Devi is there sitting. On other side, Markandeya Rishi will be sitting. So very beautiful deity. In his hand, we will see Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That this is the final instruction.
Which name of the temple is?
The name of the temple is Oppiliyappan. Oppiliyappan. You can see, and Google Acharya must be knowing. Oppiliyappan means what is the meaning? One who does not have any comparison. The Lord who does not have anyone in comparison. Oppilla Appan means, that's why it's called as Oppiliyappan. He does not have any comparison. Yes, Harshika, you wanted to ask something?
Yes, Mataji, you just taught us the 6 symptoms of surrender.
Yes.
I am repeating them in English. Just please let me know, are these correct? The first one is to
Yes.
desire only in accordance with the desire of God. Reject what's not in favor of devotion. Third one is the faith that God will
The first one I wanted to repeat. Whatever is favorable for my Krishna consciousness, I accept. Of course, favorable means in line with scriptures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Third one is the faith that God will surely protect me.
Instead of God, write everywhere Krishna.
Okay. To maintain an attitude of gratitude towards Krishna. Number 4th. Number 5th is to see everything we possess as belonging to Krishna. And number
belonging
6
to Krishna, and also 5 is to completely giving up myself to the Supreme.
Okay.
Number 5.
And number 6. Okay. Number 6 is to give up the pride of having surrendered. Is it right?
So the pride so what is the opposite? Being humble.
Okay.
That's
Thank
it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Being humble means I accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I am not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead means that I no longer have this enjoying mentality, controlling mentality, and lording over mentality. Because when we give up these, then we will naturally develop that humility. So,
thank you,
yes.
Mataji.
Harshika, got it?
Yes.
So that's the deity. Actually, there is one who does not have any comparison. Asamurdhva. In Sanskrit, it is called as Asamurdhva. We see in Bhagavatam, the Lord is Asamurdhva, like how he is Swarat, completely independent, right? Bhagavatam describes the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Same way, the Lord is Asamurdhva, means does not have any one to compare with, does not have any comparison. That's it. The final instruction of Bhagavad Gita is over. Yeah. Text 67. Idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chashrushave vakyam na cha mamyo abhyasuyati. Please read.
Translation. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in
Who are not austere.
Austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
So normally people ask this question when they see this translation. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere, devoted, they are not engaged in devotions, but we are preaching, right? So how to understand? Yes, we are encouraging everyone to take up devotional service. We are not forced. If they take up, they have been given the independence by the Supreme Lord. If they take up, it is good for them. If they don't take up, that's it. Because they are envious of the Supreme Lord, so they are not able to get this knowledge. Yes, Prabhu, the last sentence in the purport.
Purport. Without understanding Krishna from the authority of a pure devotee, one should not try to comment upon Bhagavad Gita.
So that Prabhupada is criticizing the Mayavadi commentaries because they don't have any understanding regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they are writing commentary on Bhagavad. They should be heard from a purity. And also we see there is a particular line which Prabhupada mentions. There is no possibility of faithless persons understanding Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. So we are encouraging, we are giving an opportunity to everyone to hear Bhagavad Gita. It's up to them whether they would like to proceed or they just want to be what they are. But the pure devotee is merciful. The devotees are very merciful. Somehow we want to reach to everyone. So it's up to text number 68. Yaidam paramam gusyam madbhaktesh abhidhasyati bhaktim mahi param kritva mam ye vaishyat asamshayah.
Translation. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me.
So whoever is a preacher is very dear to the Supreme Lord, and the end, he will come back to the Supreme Lord. In fact, preaching is also beyond the three modes of material nature, since we are actually discussing, we're encouraging about the Lord's activities. So that's also a transcendental service. Text number 69. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschinme priyakrittamah bhavita nacha me tasmat anya priyataro bhuvi.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
So these two verses explains that the Lord, whoever is preaching the supreme science, is more dear to the Supreme Lord. Since the purports are straightforward and simple, so that's why I did not highlight unless there is some important statement. That doesn't mean the other statements are not important. It's a simple straightforward purport. 68 and 16. Text number 70. Adyeshyate cha yayimam dharmyam samvadamavayoho yana yagnena tenaham ishtasyam iti me matihi.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
So, by studying this 18 chapters, you have worshipped the Lord by your intelligence. That is what the Lord says here. Yes, Pandit Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Pranam. I have a question from the previous verse, 67 and
Yes,
68, I believe, or
67 and
68.
68.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji. So, Mataji,
Ha,
you stated about something about preaching, right? That
ha,
for preaching, we are doing this and we are giving them an opportunity so that they can elevate themselves and
yes,
engage in Krishna's service. So,
yes.
Mataji, is it not violating this, even though we are preaching, but still is it not violating this, what Krishna states?
Uh, Actually, let us go back to third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If you go back to the third chapter of the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord
Mm-hmm.
says that please do not disturb the ignorant. Okay, please do not disturb the ignorant. So, Prabhupada writes in the particular purport, the pure devotees are very merciful that even though the Lord says that do not disturb, but pure devotees are very merciful. Somehow they want people to take up Krishna consciousness. For preaching, they take all risks. That's the policy we follow, Prabhuji. I will actually
Mataji,
take down, the verse.
that
I'll take,
that
I'll
was
take.
for pure devotees, no?
No, we
What
are
about
so that it means then we should not preach it. Like we are not like that, right? We are taking whatever risk according to my level I am taking. It is not the risk which Prabhupada has taken, right? Obviously, so many Prabhupada has gone to Russia during those
Hmm.
times, which was actually when the communists were very strong. So many risks. According to his level, he has taken up risk in preaching, right? So
Yes,
similarly,
ma'am.
so many. I'm just actually taking that verse. Uh, it is one of the powerful. I mean, one of my favorite statement, which is given by Prabhupada in the purport.
3.26, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I want to that particular statement where yes, Prabhu, 3.26. Can you? So
Yes, Mataji.
you were saying from the translation, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
No, I want from the purport, Prabhu.
Mother, shall I read?
Yes, I got it. Text number 29. Text number
Okay, Mataji.
29. Please go to the purport, Shubham Prabhuji. Since
Yes,
you are
Mataji.
text number 29, 3.29, second paragraph of the purport.
Okay, Mataji. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore Lord Krishna advised us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being.
So, what is the purpose of the Lord? What is the only purpose for the Lord? To see us suffering in the material world?
No.
So, what is his purpose? What purpose he has for us? Anyone can answer. What is the purpose for us?
Mataji, Krishna wants that he gave us a chance that we can revive our consciousness.
We can do it. That is the only purpose. So that is what he. So you got the answer, Pandit Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji,
That
even in the 10 offenses, there's been mentioned that one should
huh,
not praise the glories of holy names to a faithless
to a
person.
faithless person. See, if we see like
Yes.
that, then we cannot preach only. But what we are doing, we are encouraging them to take up chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We are not forcing them. That is what to instruct the faithless person on the strength of the holy name of the God. See, if like we're just calling them, inviting them for a program, whatever it is, we're just telling them to take up chanting the Hare Krishna Mantra, but we are not prizing glories, we are not forcing them to take up the chanting of the Hare Krishna. So that's the point. Otherwise, then we'll see our backbone of the movement is preaching.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
that is why see, Prabhupada is writing that the devotees undertake all kinds of risk, even to the point of approaching the ignorant men. See, if you see, we are doing so many like Damodar Arati program. We're encouraged, somehow we want to encourage people to take up Krishna consciousness. Like, I mean, you all have experienced Janmashtami. So definitely so many public would have visited your temple wherever you are located, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So they all did they all get an opportunity to chant the holy name on that particular day?
Yes, Mataji.
So yes, we did not force, we are encouraging them to take up the chanting of the holy. So is it clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, thank you, Mataji.
So we are not forcing anyone. So we're just encouraging everyone. We're just following the footsteps of our founder Acharya as mentioned in the purport 3.29. So is it clear, Prabhu? Pandit Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, you said one more question you have, right? Only one question you asked.
So this is in continuation to the same only, Mataji. Yes, it's answered already. Thank you.
Is answered also. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So yes, 6970 we completed. We worship the Supreme Lord by our intelligence. Shraddhavan anasho yascha shrunuyat apiyo naraha sopi mukta shubha lokan prapnuyat punya karmana. Please read.
Translation. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell.
So whoever listens to Bhagavad Gita with complete faith and without envy is free from sinful reaction and goes to the auspicious planet. Auspicious planet here, Prabhupada says Dhruva Loka. Krishna Priya Matri, can you please read the last paragraph of the purport?
Right, Maharaj. Generally, those who are free from sinful reactions, those who are righteous, very easily take to Krishna consciousness. The word Punya Karmanam is very significant here. This refers to the performance of great sacrifices like the Ashwamedha Yagya mentioned in the Vedic literature. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service, but who are not pure, can attain the planetary system of the pole star or Dhruvaloka, where Dhruva Maharaj is presiding. He is a great devotee of the Lord and has a special planet which is called the pole star.
Since they are not fully pure, they at least go to the pole star. That's what Krishna is saying. Whoever listens to Bhagavad Gita with full faith. Text number 72. Kachit etat shrutam partha tvayaiकाग्रेण चेतसा kachit ajnana sammohaha pranashtaste dhananjaya.
O son of Pratha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions not dispelled?
So again, he is asking, so is your illusion gone away? Are you able to do whatever I said? With an attentive mind, did you hear? Very straightforward. Of course, the last person, the last sentence, can you read, Prabhuji? Any
Yes,
for
Mataji.
any person
Any
fortunate.
person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance.
Why I chose this sentence? Because we're all very fortunate that we are actually hearing these topics from our founder Acharya Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, that we are fortunate that we are able to hear from him, the bona fide spiritual representative. So what is the guarantee he's saying? Guarantee he's giving to us that we are sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. So it's very important that we are fortunate. Because Prabhupada is just making us say any person fortunate. So whoever gets this book is the most fortunate person.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
With respect to pole star, Mataji, so is pole star the part of the 14 planetary system, or is it stays somewhere else? It lies somewhere else.
14 planetary system is beyond this 14 planetary system, pole star. But what happens is during the, see, there are two kinds of kriya, there are two kinds of annihilation which you might have read in the 8th chapter, right? One is a partial annihilation and the other is the complete annihilation. So during the partial annihilation, this pole star remains. But when the complete annihilation, this pole star is also annihilated. Of course, Dhruva Maharaj goes back to the spiritual. So is it clear, Prabhu? It is not within the 14 planets.
Those who are there on the pole star, those living entities or those souls. So what is okay?
What is the destination?
Yeah, the destination should be the spiritual world, I believe. No. The
So
Vaikuntha
see,
planets
after going there, see, wherever they go, if they cultivate Krishna consciousness, obviously they can go to the spiritual. Even after going to higher planetary systems, if they don't cultivate devotional service, they will come back. That is why the verse, right? Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamupeteti kaunteya punarjanmana vidyati. So does that answer your question, Prabhu? So see, the point is, because they have what to say, the highest sense gratification one could enjoy in the higher planetary systems, even though there is an opportunity to perform devotional service, but there is no impetus. You got the point, Prabhu? There is no impetus to do devotional service, but there is opportunity in all the higher planetary systems. So if they cultivate, obviously they go back to the spiritual. If they don't cultivate, they have to come back. It's like Prabhupada gives an example of a ferry wheel, right? So you go up and then you come back.
So this pole star will be a part, is actually a part of the spiritual world, right?
No, it's the Vaikuntha within the material world. Specifically, that's what in Dhruva Maharaj section it is there. I'm looking, Shishumara. Yeah, it's a center and then it's a Vaikuntha within the material world. But that is what say I'm clarifying you. There are two kinds of annihilation. What are the two kinds of annihilation? Does someone remember? Revision of chapter 8. Revision of chapter 8. When the two annihilation happens. One is when partial annihilation happens, when complete annihilation happens. Yes, two participants have raised their hand. Let us see. Yes, Shubham Prabhu.
Mataji, one annihilation happens. That is the partial annihilation at the end of day of Brahma.
Okay, and at the end of day of Brahma, what is happening is partial annihilation. Okay, very good.
Yeah. And the second, the full annihilation is when the lifespan of Brahma is completed.
Okay, the complete annihilation. That is called as Atyantika. Atyantika, all the material elements also annihilate. So at that time, Pandit Prabhu, at the time of partial annihilation, this Dhruva Loka is not annihilated. But at the time of complete annihilation, this Dhruva Loka also will be annihilated. So Prabhupada mentions very clear in the Dhruva section, that is in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So where will the Dhruva Maharaj will go at that point in time?
Dhruva Maharaj, see, Prabhu, Dhruva Maharaj is already is a perfect, he has attained perfection. We have seen, we know that the Vaikuntha plane came and Nanda, Sunanda came to take up. We have already, his chapter is closed. He has already gone back home, back to Godhead. We are discussing about those who are residing in Dhruva Loka. Right?
Okay. So Dhruva Maharaj is not there in the Dhruva Loka, but the planet is there.
Dhruva Maharaj went there. Dhruva Maharaj went there long time back.
Okay, Mataji. This is a little doubt that I had. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, then Arjuna Vacha. Now only Arjuna speaking after the first verse. First question he asked, then he is speaking now. Arjuna Vacha. Nashtamuho smriti labdha tvat prasadanmay chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Please read.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions."
A very significant, the last line is very significant. Karishye vachanam tava. Often, when we speak with our authorities, we will say, just jokingly, of course, we will do also. that we will say, Karishye Vachanam Tava. So I'm ready to act according to your instruction. So he doesn't question, he says that I'm ready to act according to your instruction. Karishye Vachanam Tava. Of course, the straightforward purport, that's why I did not highlight much. It's very simple, straightforward, which we can understand. So now finally, Sanjay is going to speak. He's ready to fight. Arjuna is ready to fight. Sanjay uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanah samvadam imam ashrausham adbhudam romaharshanam.
Translation. Sanjay said, "Thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjun. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end."
Adbhutam romaharshanam. That my hair is standing on. Yeah, please continue, Prabhu.
Perfect. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls have never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personality
Of Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies
himself,
dwelling in the Arjuna. Yeah. Please continue till successful, Prabhu.
a great devotee of Lord. If we follow in footsteps of Arjun to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjay realized this. Sanjay realized this as he has begun to understand it. He related the conversations to Dhritarashtra. Now it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjun, there is victory.
Text number 75. Vyasaprasadat shrutavan etat guhyam aham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat kathayatha swayam.
Translation. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna.
So it is Vyasadeva's mercy that his disciple Sanjaya was able to envision whatever is happening, live telecast of the conversation of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, please continue.
Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly
From Krishna
via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa Deva also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja.
So how the Vyasa Puja came into existence. Okay. Text number 76. Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam rishyami cha muhurmuhu. Please read.
Translation. O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure, being thrilled at every moment.
So Prabhupada writes in last sentence that the result of Krishna consciousness is that one becomes increasingly enlightened. And he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time, but at every moment. Anandham buddhi vardhanam, every moment. The share is increasing. Tacha samsritya rupam adbhutam hare vishmayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punah. Please read.
Okay. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
Text number 78. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and whatever there is
Wherever
And
there is Arjuna.
wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna.
So we remember OVEM, opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is what is Sanjaya's opinion. Now, please read the highlighted part.
Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral, but the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter, in the 34th verse, Man manabhav mad bhakta. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. The instructions of Bhagavad Gita constitute the supreme process of religion
Continue till
and
the
of morality.
end of the paragraph.
All other processes may be purifying and may lead to the process, but the last instruction of the Gita is the last word in all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter. From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand.
Please continue.
From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the
essence.
This is the essence of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. The path of regulative principles according to the orders of the social life and according to the different courses of religion may be a confidential path of knowledge. But although the rituals of religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential. And surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. This is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Yeah, just a minute, Patri. So in this particular paragraph, the path of regulative principles according to the orders of social life and according to different courses of religion. Prabhupada calls it as a confidential path. What does it mean by that? Following the orders of life, orders of social life. He calls it as a confidential path.
Varnashram dharma.
Yes, Varnashram dharma. Thank you. So that is considered as beginning, that's confidential. Then comes the next thing, which is again more confidential. Jnana, the path of jnana, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are more confidential. Okay? Most confidential. As it is said, Brahman realization is confidential. That comes how to attain Brahman realization. That's what we discussed in the 18th chapter. Having done the Varnashrama duties to please the Supreme Lord, one comes to the path of Brahman realization, then Paramatma realization, then Bhagavan realization. And Bhagavan realization, in that surrender unto Krishna and devotional service is the ultimate, most confidential instruction. Yes, the last paragraph, Mataji, in Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters.
In Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters have been discussed. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All is dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All conceptions of the Absolute Truth, impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and any other transcendental conception exist within the category of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although superficially the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different, nothing is different from the Supreme. But the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivable oneness and difference. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the absolute truth. The living entity, in his original position, is pure spirit. He is just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. Thus, Lord Krishna may be compared to the sun and the living entities to the sunshine, because the living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna. They have a tendency to be in contact either with the material energy or with a spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of Lord, and because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose to the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Hari Bol, Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Om Tat Sat. So we have completed the journey of Bhagavad Gita. Though I boarded your ship from 13th chapter, so we completely sailed and reached the destination. The final destination will be when we reach in reality to the spiritual world. So, yes. We're done with it. I have sent 2 questions to Rukmini, Hari Sevini, Devi Dasi. One is question number 1 in your handbook for unit 3. It's a personal application essay, right? Like times when we are actually impelled by the lower modes, right? Passion and ignorance, and how to come to mode of goodness. Is that right? That's the question. So please write a personal application, first person singular. Like, I have this problem, like I had this problem. Either it could be after coming to Krishna, before coming to Krishna consciousness, how we were actually pulled by the lower modes, that is passion and ignorance, and the practice of Krishna consciousness, how it has helped you, right? So, and what all ways you are actually trying to do in your personal life. So make bullet points, like I make, also write something which is tangible. Tangible means measurable. Like I want to increase my rounds. Not like that. I want to increase 2 rounds. This is called as tangible. Please write tangible steps in your life, what you are taking up to remain in mode of goodness. Can someone read the question one more time? Is it possible for you? I mean, I don't know whoever is having the handbook. If Rukmini Harrison, you have, please,
Yes,
can you
yes.
read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
With reference to Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, verses and purports discussed in your words. A part, the first part, ways you are personally influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. The another part, practical ways you can develop the mode of goodness.
Yeah, that's it. So how we are influenced by the lower modes, could be before coming to Krishna conscious or after coming to Krishna, whatever it is, like still you are suffering. But when you read Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, like no, you develop, you start, you wanted to come to mode of goodness, and what are the practical steps you take. So please stick to write in your own words, and then you can take reference from Bhagavad Gita only chapter 14. Don't take from everywhere, like in Bhagavatam, first canto, it says this, such says that. Please keep your reference within that chapter 4. And then don't write the full, if you want to present a statement, just present that particular statement within the quotation marks. And BG, whatever, 14 point something. Just reference and write tangible steps so that you are, it is not like for the sake of writing an essay, I'm writing it, but it's practically, I want to come to the point of goods. So for that, what I am trying to do. So this is a completely personal application essay. So this one part, and next is also kind of personal application essay. Can you read, like, you have it, or shall I read it? Rukmini Harrison, whatever I sent it to you.
Yes, Mother, I read.
Yeah, please read it.
Explain any 3 of the 6 divisions of surrender with reference to Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verses 65 and 66. Please quote statements from purports, Sanskrit phrases, and quotes from Srila Prabhupada lectures to support your explanation. Please give a practical program to practice these divisions of surrender in your own life.
So next is also a personal application. Yes. See, Bhakti Shastri itself means a change of heart, right? So how comes this change of heart happens? When we start applying whatever knowledge we have gained. So in the 3 ways, what you are going to do, mostly people will take up the first one, that accepting whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, rejecting unfavorable for Krishna consciousness, being humble. So a practical program. Of course, we can refer to verses, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, then Svarvadharman Paritejya. And within proper lecture, for this particular verse, proper is given lecture, we can refer to the lecture and add some points and give a practical program on how can I do. These are the 2 essays. Yes, Harshika?
Hare Krishna Mataji, actually me and my sister have done the OBS from the handbook. Question number 1 and question number 4.
Okay.
So do we need to do the last one, the one which you have given us?
Yes. Because question number 4 is actually how Krishna consciousness is transcendental goodness. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
The
in
first,
the previous
the
units,
first question and fourth question are kind of similar. That's why I generally don't give that.
Okay.
Yeah, so something like you practically you can start working. It's kind of similar. 1 and 4, if you see, kind of. So of course, we can say like, okay, coming to goodness and then coming to pure goodness. But what that question says is, Krishna consciousness is transcendental to the mode of goodness. So you can try to do the 4 which I have gave. Which I sent it to Rukmini Hari Sevi.
okay, Mataji.
Okay, so whatever questions you have asked, I have tried to explain it, whatever I have heard it from my superiors. I hope I have done some justice. If I have not done, please pray for me. Okay, so I think we can leave. Yes, Harshika, you want to add
I have
something?
one more question. Yes, the Dhruv Loka part which you just discussed.
Yes.
I didn't get it. Actually, the planets which are beyond this 14 planet system, like Vaikuntha, the Sanketdam, that if the devotees go there, they never come back to this material world, right?
I said that is Vaikuntha in the material world. I clearly said that is
Okay.
Vaikuntha in the material world.
It's not spiritual.
It's not a spiritual world.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
will actually, Rukmini Hari Sevi, because if it is Bhagavad Gita, I can quickly refer. Since it is Bhagavatam, I need some time to find out where Prabhupada is saying. And also he says that at the time, the partial annihilation, it will remain. Only the time of final annihilation, that planet also will be annihilated. So I will find the purport. I will send it to Rukmini Hari Sevi, which number it is, so that you all will be clear when you read that part.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you,
Harshika?
Mataji. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Rukmini Hari Sevini, thank you so much.
Yes. Mother, one question I want to ask.
Yes.
Mother, as you are gonna check OBS, so can you please tell the last date, that till what date you want all devotees to submit both the OBS?
Generally, how many days devotees have given so far? Because already they have completed 2 units, right?
Just the tenure of 12 sessions, the 12 sessions timings. So
Okay,
till
so
next
only-
session over, they should submit.
Like, so I mean, any date like 2 weeks, whatever, or 12 sessions means like, because you have only 3 sessions, right, in a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Yes. So generally we give 4 weeks time.
4 weeks time. Okay.
Maybe like Mother, actually what we do, like we give earlier, and till at the same day of CBA, they deposit they submit their OBS as well.
OBS.
We do
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
But we have, we are right now we are given, and just in 1 week there is. So if we can give like 15 days or
Yeah, I think so, because tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm traveling. As I said, I'm traveling to Malaysia. So, to 5th, I'm traveling. I will be returning only on 13th. Is it okay if they give on 2021? 21, if I give, just let me check what is 21.
21st
Can
is
someone-
Saturday.
21st Sunday. Okay, then keep it on Monday, 23. So even
Perfect.
sometimes if there is mood of ignorance pushes you, then you will procrastinate. And finally, at least you will have 2 days to write.
Yes, yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So 23, keep it 23, but on dot 23, nothing beyond 23.
Yes, mother. We will
So
definitely
it
put.
means today we are on 3rd, right? So
Yes.
20 days you have. So 10 days you can keep to write one essay and another 10 days to write one more essay. So is everyone happy?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you, Rukmini Harisevani, for this opportunity.
Mataji,
So,
Yes.
may you please explain the OBA question which you have given in the message form? Like, please give a practical program to practice. What do
Yes.
we have to explain in this one? I didn't get it.
Yeah, you write up some bullet points like practically I am doing this, like that. That is the practical program.
Or we
Like
have to
as I said-
explain the 3 divisions too, referencing the Prabhupada's lectures and also
Yes,
the
yes,
purpose
yes,
and
yes,
verses.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
If you want any clarification, you reach Rukmini Harisevani, then I can maybe I can send some more, maybe a voice message or a type message. I will send on that particular
Okay,
issue
okay,
if you
thanks.
still have doubt.
thank you so very much, mother. We are really very much thankful to you. It is like learning from anyone, and a learning, studying with the help of mother is totally different. So it's like with all love, care, myself, including myself, if someone was not able to answer, giving so many hints, in every step, I could see the motherly love in that. And it was really amazing to understand everything so nicely, so properly, many times, same thing repeatedly, helping us to remember. It was like amazing. Thank you so very much for agreeing to take the sessions and give, deliver the sessions. And it is, I know that it was not planned earlier that you would go abroad, but yes, you went there. Then even you didn't say it, "Oh, I will not take the sessions." Then even you agreed, from there you are giving. So we are really very much thankful to you for giving the sessions. And please, please, please forgive all of us for our mistakes. And please, please do bless us that, yes, we whatever we have learned from you, but whatever we are learning in the Bhakti Shastri course, we may able to understand and preach and practically apply. Please bless all of us.
Definitely, my prayers for all the wonderful devotees here, to Radha Madhav, to Panchatatma, and Prahlad Narsingh, the wonderful deities of Sridham Mayapur, and all our previous acharyas. And my only request is whatever we have learned, we try to apply in our practical life so that we progress in Krishna consciousness. And yes, always be loyal to Prabhupada and our previous acharyas, and to the wonderful movement, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and our spiritual masters. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I really relish this association. Yes, Harisevani, you want to add something?
Yes,
Shall I
please,
close?
please bless us again with your
I say that I'll definitely pray for all of
please
you.
bless us again with your association. Really. It was amazing journey, of all 12 sessions. It could be like 24 session and more sessions.
You'll become bored of it then. Okay. Anyway, nice association. Thank you so much. So yes, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Okay.
Premanande Hari Hari Bol Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. I like to sing a small song which is actually composed my dear god brother. Simple song. He actually made it this Christmas, during Christmas, what song they sing?
Jingle bells,
Christmas
jingle bells.
Carol.
Jingle Bells. Yes,
Carols.
he made this song in Jingle Bells tune. So the song goes like this: chanting holy names with Tulsi Jaba beat. Over the moats we go and chant in ecstasy. Kartals are chiming. For Krishna we all sing. We dedicate this song for Srila Prabhupada tonight. So Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada is sure to save each and every soul. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada is sure to save each and every soul. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness ki jai. Thank you, Hare Krishna, and all the best for the rest of your Bhakti Shastri. And may you all become Bhakti Shastras and preach extensively in whichever part you are located. And please, Srila Prabhupada and all his wonderful followers. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
everyone.
Hare.